Hello, this is our third lesson on net force calculation. This time we'll be going one step more complicated, so hopefully you got the first two. In problem number 5, we've got, it looks really simple, but there's a trick to it, okay? Because before, whenever I put, there were always either all pushing forces or all pulling forces. In this problem, we have a pulling force and a pushing force, okay? So what you actually have to do is, because the arrows are both going in the same direction, those two forces are going to combine with each other. So you actually have to add them together. So I may not have been clear enough about this in the other videos, but you have to be very careful which direction the arrows are pointing in, okay? That really matters if you have to add or subtract the forces together. So in this problem, you've got to add these two forces together to get your net force, because you have, they're both going in the same direction. One's pulling that way and one's pushing that way. So we're going to take our 3 newtons and our 3 newtons, add them together, and we will get 6 newtons as our net force. And the 6 newtons is in that direction. Okay, it is pushing in that direction. So you just add them up. Now, what they like to do in some of these more complicated problems is they like to have pulling and pushing forces all over the box in different directions. And then you have to add them all up or subtract them, figure out what to do. Okay, so in this one, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to add this one and this one together, because this one's pushing in this direction, that one's pulling in that direction. They're both going that way. So we have to take the 3 that's pulling that way and the 2 that's pulling to the left, and we're going to add them, and we're going to get 5 newtons that are going in that direction. And then we're going to take our 6 newtons, and that one's going in this direction. So what you can see here, now this is a little clearer, is that we have 5 and 6 in opposite directions. So this side's 1 newton stronger in that direction. So our net force is going to be in this direction, and it's going to be 1 newton. And this is an unbalanced force. And there'll be movement in that direction. Now I forgot to say, this one over here is not a balanced force. It is also an unbalanced force, because there's net force, 6 newtons of net force in that direction. So this is also an unbalanced force. So in these two problems, neither of them were balanced. And this is usually kind of the trick question about a balanced force, because you see forces on both sides. However, the arrows are going in the same direction, because one's a push and one's a pull. That means that they're both going to add together instead of subtract, and that would be an unbalanced force. And there's going to be movement in that direction. Okay, if you have any other questions about this, please email me. I'm happy to or chat on Teams with me, and I'm happy to answer any questions. All right, good luck in the worksheet.